Welcome to Gatekeeper Media's coverage of the MPO Chase Card on the final day of the 2023 PDGA Champions Cup in Appling, Georgia. I'm Andrew Fish, joined here by Nathan Queen.
What a week we've got to experience out here at Wildwood Park. So many birdies from this field this weekend. Seems like everybody stepped their game up for the first major of the year, and I'm excited to see what they have in store for us during this fourth and final round.
Yeah, no doubt. We have an excellent card with Eagle McMahon, Matt Orum, Silas Schultz, and Gannon Buhr, all averaging somewhere around 8 down per round. But that's still leaving them quite a ways back of the leader. Nathan, what do you think it's going to take to get to a podium finish?
I think you're going to need to see the 7 to 8 range to even stay where they're at, so maybe pushing the 9 to 10 to get up on the podium. Jumping straight into the bags, Eagle McMahon for the fourth round in a row. Putting with the Rainmakers, going to see some MD1s, a lot of that Essence, and maybe that C-Line FD1 as well.
Matt Orum, he's going to be putting with the Judge. Excellent thrower of mid-ranges. You see quite the variety of there, covering all of his stabilities and his drivers in the woods. I know he likes to throw the Rive for his really big shots.
And then Silas Schultz putting with the D-Line P2s. Going to see some MD3s and maybe some MD4s also. Really going to be leaning on that green C-Line FD and C-Line FD1 as well.
And Gannon Buhr making a return to the Gatekeeper Media Chase Card, putting with the PA3. He will throw that M4, M2 all over the course, as well as the FX2, and then D1s and D2s for some of his faster shots. Hole 1, a par 4, going to be the suggestion of a left turn, and there's 2 routes you can take. The drone is flying the right side, which you will see right-hand, backhand hyzers thrown, or there is the left side for a flex shot. After that, it's kind of pick your poison with a series of gaps in the second half of the hole.
Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Tournament Director Nate Heinel and the Professional Disc Golf Association, we welcome you to W.R. Jackson Memorial Course at the International Disc Golf Center for the 2023 PDGA Champions Cup, presented by Bushnell. This is your chase card, teeing off at 3:07 p.m. First off the box, from Boulder, Colorado, Eagle McMahon.
We've seen Eagle go left side the entire time, usually with a mid-range. Looks like there's a disc change here. In the background, please note that Matt, Gannon Buhr's caddy, is also pulling double duty caddying for Silas Schultz right now. Just kind of fingers in 2 pots for that caddy stipend.
And as you noted, Eagle disking up. And that is absolutely an incredible shot from Eagle McMahon.
A little fortunate through the left side, but he's not even throwing this that hard. It's just a smooth, flat shot.
Once he got through the gap, I definitely didn't expect it to be up across this road, which is just something you don't see. All those spectators just, they got a treat right there.
Next off the tee, from Riola, Alabama, Matthew Orum.
Matteo, you hear very early that he's a fan favorite. Love the lobster shirt. Or maybe it's crawfish? It's crawfish.
I would
That's
say got to be the crawfish boil shirt.
And going to play aggressive with that right side distance driver. And kind of a bummer of a skip off of that tree, but still in a great spot, about 300, maybe 275 away from the basket.
Next up, from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Silas Schultz.
And as you heard, Silas Schultz from Louisiana, very comfortable in the woods, grew up playing in some pretty tight courses down there. And spent 2 rounds on the lead card already this tournament.
Maybe not a name you're used to seeing up here, but he's been around a good bit. I've played some rounds with him at USDGC before. And gets a great tee shot off. He's going to be over on the left side opening up a hyzer.
Gannon Buhr comfortable with that anhyzer release angle. This appears to be distance driver.
Wow, looking to match Eagle's bid across the road. And doesn't quite get that far, but an incredible shot just the same. He's going to have pretty much just a little pitch up, either backhand putter or a little forehand shot over there.
Orum playing the mid-range right side, and that skitters well inside of circle one. That's how you start your round off. Silas Schultz does have a forehand, but he's going to use the backhand whenever possible.
There you go.
And does have that pretty wide open hyzer there. Gonna slide right next up to Mattio's disc, both sitting in a good spot for a birdie.
And you know those two have battled it out quite a bit, playing in the south. Not quite adjacent states, but close enough to it. Gannon Buhr from this left side opens up the swinging hyzer.
Yeah, just a dumpy forehand there. Gets a nice counter skip to make sure he parks it. An eagle.
This is 160 feet away.
Oh, man.
Going to be the first to throw his birdie putt.
Yeah, it's got to be disappointing, right? I doubt it. He's still pretty happy. Now he's pretty happy. Makes that birdie putt.
Yeah, you feel like you got away with one there. And easy enough for Matteo. For Silas, this is a really big tournament. Nathan, can you talk a little bit about how to handle the pressure of playing on a final round filmed card at a big event?
Yeah, it just depends on what you want your mindset to really be. Either keep it relaxed and joke around and enjoy yourself while you're out there, or remain focused on your task. Either style could work. And depending on how you feel that day, it's not necessarily one way for one person and one way for another.
Yeah, but regardless, a really good learning experience. You see kind of a low misfire inside from Eagle McMahon, who had been lacing this hole pretty well. What are these other competitors looking to do?
Yeah, you're going to see some pushing hyzers down the right side with a fairway driver, a distance driver if you're wanting to swing your arm just a bit slower. And this is pushing just a little bit right. Happens to sneak past those trees. He's going to be up inside the circle.
And I think this is a mid-range from Silas Schultz. Has to disc down to throw 390. But a very nice flip up. Stays on hyzer, and yeah.
Seems like he's handling that pressure well. He's going to start with 2 birdies and already has a Gatekeeper replay here on hole 2.
Shots like that are why he was able to set the course record at 12 down earlier in this event. It's since been tied, but, first one to do it counts for something.
Well, I think it's great in the woods if you're comfortable throwing hard, and him disking down to a mid-range to throw that 390 shot shows that he's pretty comfortable throwing hard, hitting gaps in the woods. So if he can maintain that feeling, I think he's going to do pretty well.
Yeah, and that kind of can be an advantage to just have the same swing on every shot, going close to full power. But those slow discs aren't going to require as much play in the air, left, right, and then the finish and skip.
Yeah, also involving tree kicks. Those slower discs aren't going to kick quite as far also if you do catch something.
We saw Gannon Buhr get a favorable kick, but not able to convert on his circle 2 look.
And Eagle just kind of pitching up from his short drive. That'll be a little disappointing for himself. I'm sure he's used to getting this hole. Matty O able to connect, starting his round with back-to-back birdies. I got to jump back to 1. Mason Marshbanks throwing it in for the 2 on hole 1. What a way to start the round.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe the only eagle carded on that particular hole. So well done, Mason. Hole 3, a par 4 at 726 feet. Tee shot can be moving left to right, either aggressively with a distance driver, thrown high to turn, or more conservatively with a forehand or mid-range. The fairway's then going to dogleg to the left. A lot of different ways to get to this basket, but you can kind of script your tee shots on many of these par 4s. Everything after that is just intuition and scrambling technique, right?
Yeah, even if you land in the middle of the fairway, a lot of the time 6 feet left of the middle or 6 feet right of the middle is going to require you to throw a different shot. So pretty hard to know exactly your game plan, like you were saying.
For sure. Matteo has thrown that well. He's in a good spot to throw a backhand hyzer. And Schultz is going to go to that forehand. Looks like it's tracking almost perfectly. Yeah, the stump that Silas squeaked past is the aim point if you're just playing that more conservative shot.
Yeah, if you think you're about to hit it and you miss it, it's perfect.
Eagle's been throwing this same shot. And this one the best of all of them.
Yeah, it flattened out just in time to not get any cut roll. He has navigated well up the fairway, probably about 100 feet farther than we saw Silas get.
And Berg slinging his forehand as well. Also in a good spot to throw a backhand hyzer, maybe 390, 400 feet.
And he puts this up nicely. There's lots of branches to catch up top. He catches one a little bit to slow him down right around circle's edge, but still a pretty good shot.
Yeah, in general, I think just getting to circle 2 is huge on this hole because the gaps don't align well if you get knocked down early. Like, you got to make meaningful progress on your first and second shots.
Yeah, this second shot, there's kind of the illusion of one gap, but the suggestion of 2.
Yeah, I agree. And the most successful take the back door that is the suggestion.
Right. Or you can just do that.
Yeah, Silas Schultz actually managing to go long. And Eagle with a putter.
And that's that backdoor gap that you were talking about. But with it being a putter, didn't quite get it to swing around quite as much as he was hoping for.
Well done by Orum. That'll be a drop-in par. And this is a critical opportunity for Eagle. I don't want to harp on that so early in the round, but as he chains out left side, you see the frustration. Like, as good as his drive was, he's going to feel like he had to get that closer than 36 feet.
Right, and Gannon gonna feel a similar feeling to Eagle right there. Chaining out left side, both only one down still.
What's up, guys? Eagle here. Thank you for watching Gatekeeper Media, and I just want to send you over to my socials. Go check out my YouTube, Eagles Vlogs. Go check out me on Instagram, Eagle_WMCM. Discmania, we got some cool stuff coming out. Sweets Kendamas, got some grip bags left, and I just want to thank all of you for the amazing support. Keep on dreaming.
Kyle Klein stepping up for the birdie on 18.
Your Open champion, Gannon Buhr.
Another record-setting weekend on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Back-to-back weeks. Winner coming from the chase card. Pretty special stuff. Gannon Buhr, Kyle Klein, two young superstars on tour, showing you how to get it done.
Silas Schultz, gobble gobble to start his round, moving into hole 4, 327-foot par 3. Gonna see some mid-ranges pushing forward and then a late skip, hopefully, or a little bit higher with less skip, maybe some fairways, but most likely with the power we've got on this card, some mid-ranges.
This is hung a little too far right, but does have the stability to work through the initial gap. Kind of gets caught near Circle 2's edge.
This is one of the holes that the edges has not been cleaned up on. Really want to make sure you hit the fairway. If you are off early, it's pretty difficult to navigate.
Matt Orum, you see the good nose up to help that get back to the left.
Oh,
and
my
ace
goodness.
running. Catches a roll out towards Circle's edge backside. You definitely can't see this basket off the tee, so glad Matt gets to see a replay of how close that was. Eagle, more inside, but also running to that left edge of the green.
Yeah, so much speed on that. Makes me feel like it was fairway, but I know it was most likely one of his mid-ranges. He just throws so quick.
Kind of a subtle downhill in the second half of this hole. Kind of lets things run a little too hard. And Gannon Buhr,
Catching the koozie.
yeah.
Let's take a look at this one again.
This card, plenty of throwing highlights for replays already.
Yeah, although they can't see the basket, they know this fairway well. 3 of them skipping through pretty much the same gap there.
Get it, baby. Yeah.
And Silas Schultz can do no wrong. 4 straight to start his round. And a Gatekeeper rewind here.
Oh yeah, super clean. Just hyzered right back to where he wanted. No chance that's coming out at all.
Last year, Silas was pretty close to top 10 in basically all of the driving stats. And he is clearly a dangerous man when his putt is working. And these 2 circles edge looks unable to be converted for Eagle and Matty O.
Yeah, Silas seems to have shaken these more experienced players a little bit with his start.
Do you believe in the big putt phenomenon?
I do. I believe
Okay.
Usually the first 2 make it and the third one misses, so
I
I'm not
see.
sure what happened with Eagle there.
Gotcha. Hole 5, 432 feet, pretty much straight, but because of how long and straight the hole is, we're likely to see hyzer flips played with a left to right. Eagle's been very successful in this so far. I'm interested to see how the others are going to play it. This is C-line FD from Silas Schultz, and tracks over just a touch too early.
Yeah, so close to what he wanted. Had the right line, or the right flight of the disc, just a little bit too far right.
Buhr with a much higher line, but inside right as well. Nathan, there was a little bit of wind today. Nothing severe, but as touchy as this hyzer flip is, sometimes indecision or imperfect angles are magnified.
Oh, and what a shot from Matty O. The wind that you were speaking about was moving left to right. So Matty O using the entire fairway there, starting all the way on the left, trying to get that wind to push it over. Got a little help from a tree at the end, so he's going to have a circle 2 look.
And Eagle misses the fairway a little bit, but gets into circle 2, maybe circle 1 even. Burr, this is kind of a tough spot. We'll need to throw flat through a tiny little gap, and then this is going to fade until it gets kicked.
Yeah, it came out just a bit early out of his hand there. This hole did get harder today, averaged over par for the second time this week. 3.05, fourth hardest hole on the day. And Silas Schultz is going to have his first hole without a birdie.
Scramble opportunity from about circle's edge. And here's Gannon Buhr. Great shape. Great pace. Unfortunately, a little bit to the right. Orum. Wow. From downtown.
Big hit. Crawdaddy Orum has his third birdie of the round now. Through just 5 holes.
Love the commitment. What a swaggy guy.
Absolutely.
And the putting woes kind of continuing for McMahon.
Yeah, that one looked a little awkward. I'm not sure what the little jump was after the release. Maybe his footing was a bit strange on a root, maybe.
I don't know. But it was much slower and floatier than I'm used to seeing Eagle putt. Gannon Buhr with his signature chalk puff as a wind check. And we'll card the 4. That kind of happens in a hurry, even from pretty good tee shots.
Yeah, especially the par 3s out here. If just one little mistake on an upshot and you catch a tree and you're still 70 feet away, not an easy par putt to make.
Yeah, they're very fickle. You could get all 4 on the front 9, or you could be scrambling on all 4.
And here's another one of those par 3s, 366-foot par 3. Gonna see all 4 of these players go to the right side most likely. Again, pushing on a hyzer. You're going to want to throw a fairway driver, distance driver if you want to risk skipping off to the left a bit too much.
Like a bug raz for Orum.
Wanting to get in on that tasty meal on his shirt. As that is just a little bit too far right, but gets some great ground play afterwards.
Schultz back to that mid-range, same as hole 2 it looks like, and it's hung pretty far out to the right, and with the mid-range skip not going all the way back to the left, but on the dance floor.
I'm not sure I've seen anybody try or commit to mid-range up this hill. It's a very long 366.
Definitely, and you see even Eagle McMahon, known for his power shots, playing with the fairway. So maybe Schultz is going to update the meta for some other folks in the field. We'll see.
Why did that flip so fast?
Not enough hyzer for Gannon Buhr. I liked the initial release.
Same sounds like he did too. An Eagle probably looking to put this in. Slides it up there nicely for a par.
Yeah, just a little too far back to put that chain high. Gannon Buhr. High hyzer putt. but fades early. Orum from circle 2 again.
I feel like this whole average is easier this year than it has in the past. As Matty O back-to-back circle 2 looks, dropping them in the basket, 4 under par now.
Get yourself a rewind. You see the unique putting form, full commitment. It's unconventional, but he's doing the same kind of, and another point, he's doing the same kind of thing that everybody else wants to do, like squaring his hips up, pushing those towards the basket, the full follow through. And Silas Schultz, 5 down on the round already.
Want to give a shout out to everybody down in the I-10, down in Bama. Also want to give a shout out to Dynamic and Westside for everything they do for me. And just want to thank everybody that supports me, buying my Westside Signature Series disc, and see y'all soon.
I just think the plastic is very premium. It's a high quality material. The way the disc feels in my hand.
I think it's the quality of plastic.
It's unlike any other plastic that you'll find in the industry.
The quality is better than any other company out there.
Again, just consistent plastic. It's something I can consistently trust on every single throw.
There's so many discs to choose from, and I guarantee if you tried every disc in the lineup, you're gonna wanna put multiple discs in your bag.
It's extremely high quality. You can only say so much, they have to eventually just try it themselves and see.
All of us at Bushnell are excited to be here for the Champions Cup and very proud to have been a part of this since day one. We want to say thank you to the players and the fans for supporting the event and joining with us to push the sport forward.
Hole 7, a par 4 at 744 feet. This initial gap shot kind of leads to a downhill grassy field. Tee shots are going to have to move left, whether that's in flight or on a skip. And from there, it is another left turn into the basket. Basket kind of perched on a slope, one of the trickier greens on the course, as well as the trickiness of the approach with some stacked trees that often make the gap much smaller than it actually is.
Yeah, and that wind that we were speaking about on hole 5, you can really feel out here also. Again, kind of that left to right variety.
It's a little bit in. Oh, pushed far enough as Matty-O goes with the distance driver.
And jumps through the corner. He's going to be in a pretty fantastic spot, I think.
Yeah, well under 300 feet at this point. We saw that sponsor ad a moment ago. Champions Cup definitely doesn't happen without the support of a whole bunch of generous sponsors and partners. In particular, Nate Heinold told me that Columbia County was very gracious in helping arrange hotel blocks, coordinate some logistics on the ground, including transportation, shuttles to player and spectator parking. Really great to have such an excellent venue for the foreseeable future for Champions Cup.
Yeah, great of them to help out so much, and all of the players really appreciate it, and I personally hope that we get to come back here for Champions Cup for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, the course is top-notch. The event management, the volunteers, spotters on nearly every hole. This can be paving the way forward for what we expect a PDGA Pro Major to look like.
And while we have been talking about how great the course is, we have just seen 4 of the best drives you're probably going to see on hole 7. Everybody here in position.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Gannon Buhr catching one of the late high branches. Gonna drop him down pretty out of birdie position minus a long throw in.
Schultz, mid-range hyzer, swinging back up the hill, and at circle 1's edge once again.
Catches that late tree, but luckily hits it low enough that it doesn't have any weird angles to roll away once it hits the ground afterwards. Oh.
And I believe that was a roller angle from Matty-O.
And it is rolling.
Despite the early tree hit, reasonably successful in that venture.
Yeah, I thought he was a little farther around those trees, so he still had a couple to go through. Eagle, however, didn't look like he had much to go through. He's put it up there nicely just outside the bullseye. Gonna be looking to get his first birdie since hole 1.
Yeah, finally an easy chance for McMahon. Gannon Buhr, a little chip forehand. He will card the par. And Orum might be daring enough to give this a little poke.
Yeah, gave it the hyzer run there. Trying to give it enough height, hoping it either goes in or misses everything, because you can definitely get a roll away on a metal hit here.
Yeah, I think this is on the don't mess with this basket list.
Silas Schultz is not messing around, has only parred 1 hole, 6 birdies through 7.
You see that he's tied for second currently. Isaac Robinson had kind of a slow start. You can see that on other coverage. But for now, we are going to be glued to the Silas Schultz show.
Yes, indeed. He is putting on a show. Matty O, the closest at keeping up so far. He's 4 under par if he can put this one in.
Does so successfully, and McMahon nearly a drop in.
Moves us into hole 8, 645-foot par 4. It's kind of had its range of scoring throughout the week. A couple days it's played on the easier side. A couple days it's played more towards the middle of the field. Early corner, so you can't get too much distance off of the tee, meaning you're going to have most likely at least 330, 340 for your second shot.
Schultz going to go to that forehand, kind of scoops it out there, a little bit of nose up to help move to the right. And that's in a great spot. As you noted, 320 or so to the bucket.
Yeah, he should be looking down the skinnier left side fairway, but still leads right to it nonetheless.
McMahon kind of babies it. This doesn't have quite the distance potential that Schultz's did, but still in a fine spot. He'll be looking up the right side from about 350, 360. Or I'm going to go with this backhand shot. Nathan, what do you think he's looking for?
Yeah, this backhand shot is to get you a little bit more distance most of the time. A little bit harder to get into the fairway. As you see, he does catch some early branches, but he's looking to push that up around the corner, stay on that right side, and probably get to that 315, maybe 300-foot range.
Yeah, Matteo, such a technician with his woods angles. Not able to execute that one. Gannon Buhr kind of in between where Eagle and Silas were heading. Drops down for another fairway hit.
And really difficult to get a lot of distance when you're pinched off like this. Got to throw very understable and get it to stand up and push the entire way. Matteo has done that well. He's up inside circle 2 now.
Yeah, I think he did a really good job about committing to the distance, not worrying so much about left-right on the finish. Like, solve the immediate problem and let the later one take care of itself.
And Eagle, the same thing. They're really committed to that hyzer stand-up shot. Ended up pushing a little bit right, but made it through the trees. He's going to have another pretty simple birdie look.
Buhr able to flip this up to the right side and catches the last one just in circle 2.
I think the slight uphill that you have this whole second part of the fairway really dictates a lot of your shot.
I completely agree. It means that you can't quite air it all the way there. Your ground play is going to be a little bit muted or run you to the left side instead of straight at the basket.
Yeah, it makes being in the position you want to be in off of the tee a really prime spot to be, so you can control the way that your disc lands up here when you have to scramble and you put different angles on your disc to try to get up there. That's when you start to drift away, have these circle 2 looks.
The first 2 not able to convert, but Eagle does, pushing him to 3 down. Silas Schultz to continue his excellent front 9 work.
No doubt. Got a second turkey going. 7 down through 8 holes. Still in that tie for second. I think he was 3, possibly 4 strokes off of second place when he started the round.
Yeah, I asked a couple of these guys what their goals were going into this round, and they said, well, definitely stay top 10. Top 10 at a major is great. But they all felt like second place was in play with how many stroke swings can happen, and none of them feeling like they've played their best golf to date. Hole 9, an initial gap shot, and then a series of braided fairways. Anything that gets to this road is definitely in play, about 250 feet away from the basket, but the second half of the hole, just a series of choices. You don't get to, as noted earlier, you don't get to choose your second shot until your first one is landed.
And ripped over on this one a bit too much. Does miss all the early trees and pushes up across the road. Gonna be in the rough over on the right side. Might have a look out, might be looking at a tricky pitch out.
Yeah, his saving grace is that he's gone far enough that he won't have to full power something.
Oh my goodness.
And McMahon once again doing the hard part of the hole, making it look easy.
Yeah, he's gonna be he's inside 200.
Orum to the distance driver. He doesn't really like that Anheuser release. He'd rather go Heiser, but does this very nicely and is gonna follow Eagle over there.
Yeah, didn't get quite the same distance, but is going to be over there on the left side where we saw Eagle yesterday, and it is quite the straight line to the basket.
Whoa, this is kind of a shank job by Buhr. He'll need a stable finish. That favorable tree kick still at 250 or so.
What a miss.
My misses aren't credited as fairway hits. I'm kidding. Sometimes they are. Buhr leaves this a little bit inside, but nearly puts it in.
Yeah, almost puts it in. Slides out to around 26, 28 feet. Looks like Silas is going to be going for a forehand shot here. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Finds his way up there. And he's going to be 8 down through the front 9.
Yeah, based on what we've seen so far, you can book that 15-footer. This is very well done. Kind of going through what looks to be a wide gap in mature trees, but some scrubby stuff initially.
Yeah, definitely some branches that you're not going to see on camera that he was able to get through there.
Sometimes you just have to throw at those and trust that they're small enough that your disc isn't going to be affected.
And Matty O online. Gonna park it and move himself to 5 under par now.
Eagle able to throw it slow enough.
And you can hear chains, and you've heard trees also in past coverage that all around here. It's something we haven't talked about too much. But as there are 3 courses out here, this course is a little tight in some spots where you are going to see some other players or hear some other chains, hear some tree kicks and whatnot.
Yeah, definitely. This is in the center of about 4 other holes. So between galleries, media, and other players, you sometimes have to fight some distractions on 14, 9, 2.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah. So excellent play from our chase card here. Silas Schultz, kind of the story right now, 8 down through the front 9, making a move at first. I'm excited to see what these folks can do on the back, generally playing a little bit tougher.
Yeah, and as you see, Isaac Robinson kind of letting some guys catch up. He's gone from 7 to 5 strokes, but tightening up for the other podium positions. We've got 9 holes left out here for the first major of the year at WR Jackson. I'm excited to see the conclusion.
For Nathan Queen, I'm Andrew Fish.
And we'll see you guys out there.